Hi, my name is Alya, and I will be presenting my proposal. Encryption is the process of taking a plain text and when through some processes that turns it into a ciphertext. The ciphertext is an unreadable text. To unlock the ciphertext, both sender and receiver must use a secret encryption key. The key is some algorithm that can be reversed. It, so the ciphertext can turn into a plain text or vice versa. Advantages of encryption is that it maintains the data confidentiality and data integrity. So now I will start explaining about my suggestions. So for user login, I suggest we use bcrypt and SHA-256. Bcrypt incorporates salt to protect against rainbow table attacks. The iteration counts can be increased so that it remains resistant to brute force attacks, even with increasing computational powers. SHA-256 provides additional security, focusing on password storage rather than SHA-1 or MD5. SHA-256 is also used by MySQL to store their passwords and usernames. SHA-256 cycles through several thousands of iterations in the creation of the hash, hence making brute force attacks more expensive to attempt. So the cryptographic objectives related to user login are entity authentication or identification. We are identifying whether the user logging in is the right authorized user, and the second one is authorization, where we are authorizing whether or not the user logging in is the right authorized user. For the database for customers detail, I suggest we use format preserving encryption (FPE) and transparent data encryption (TDE). The format preserving encryption encrypts your data in similar formats. The encrypted output will be a different combination of similar formats. So after the encryption, the structure of your data will remain the same. The transparent data encryption (TDE) does real-time I/O encryption and decryption of data and log files. The encryption uses a database encryption symmetric key (DEK), and TDE does not increase the size of encrypted database. The cryptography objectives related to database for customers details are number one is privacy and confidentiality, where we are keeping the customer's data and information secret from all but those who are authorized to seeing it. And the second one is data integrity, where we ensure the customer's data and information has not been altered by any unauthorized or unknown user. As for the email encryption, I suggest we use reverse Shamir Edelman encryption (RSA) or secure multipurpose internet mail extension (SMIME). The RSA is one of the oldest public key crypto system that is widely used for secure data transmission based on a simple mathematical approach, and its implementation is the public key infrastructure that is very straightforward. The secure multipurpose internet mail extension SMIME uses digital signature. The sender and receiver must both save each other's digital signature, so this will ensure the right sender and receiver of the mail. The public key is sent with the SMIME protected email. This will verify your identity when recipient open the email. And the cryptography objectives are access control. We need to ensure that only the authorized sender and receiver of the email have the key to decrypt the email. And then the second one is signature, where the email is sent and received by the correct person with the correct signature. So for the secure socket layer of the application, I suggest we use elliptic curve cryptography (ECC) or reverse Shamir Edelman (RSA). So the elliptic curve cryptography uses a mathematical properties of an elliptic curve to produce a public key. An elliptic curve is a plane curve which consists of points satisfying the equation y squared equals to x cubed plus ax plus b. ECC is very difficult to reverse, and ECC will decrease the time taken to perform the SSL handshake, and it helps loading the website faster. The RSA, in the other hand, is a public key encryption algorithm and the standard for encrypting information transmitted via the internet. It uses the prime factorization to facilitate encryption and decryption of the data. The encryption process creates a massive bunch of gibberish that frustrates hackers. It is entirely safe to be used, and the minimum key length recommended is 2047 bits. The cryptographic objectives related to the secure socket layer of web application is the first one is anonymity. It is concealing the identity of entity involved while the data is being transmitted through the internet. And the second one is privacy or confidentiality, where keeping the information secret from all but those who are authorized to see it. For the file attachment, I suggest we use two-fish or advanced encryption standard, AES. So two-fish is a license-free symmetric encryption that encrypts 128-bit data blocks in 16 rounds. It is fast and flexible. It uses pre-computed key-dependent S boxes, and it uses key length of 128 or 256 bits, making it safe from brute force attacks. TrueCrypt is a software program that encrypts and protects data files using two-fish. AES is most widely used encryption algorithm. The multiple key length options are one of the biggest advantage, as the longer the keys, the harder it is to crack. AES is not vulnerable to brute force attacks because of the key sizes of more than 128 bits. Gmail attachments uses the AES 256 encryption algorithm. The cryptographic objectives are validation. The files are authorized to be used or manipulate information or resources, and privacy or confidentiality, where we are keeping the file attachments from all but those who are authorized to see it. As for the electronic payment transaction, I suggest we use blowfish and triple data encryption. Blowfish can create a much longer key so that it is much more difficult to try and hack the key value. It has been tested multiple times for its speed, efficiency, and security. Many organizations claim that no one has successfully hacked it, and CS Card uses blowfish to encrypt their payment data. Triple data encryption is used for PIN encryption by all transaction terminals. TDES has a better security in electronic payment than before the DES because of the added security layers and triple running of the encryption algorithm. The use of the new 3DES algorithm combined with the propagation of EMV cards has made financial transactions more secure. And the cryptographic objectives are certification, where the endorsement of information by a trusted entity between the user, the food delivery company, and the bank. And then ownership, where it provides the user with a legal right to use or transfer money via the bank. As for the chat conversation, I suggest we use advanced encryption standard or double ratchet. AES encryption is used to secure a vast amount of data both at rest and in transit, and can be used in 128, 192, and 256 bit keys. It is used by WhatsApp, iPhones, BlackBerry, Nokia, and Windows as an end-to-end encryption for its user. Meanwhile, double ratchet is a key management algorithm that can be used as a part of cryptographic protocol to provide an end-to-end encryption for an instant messaging. The algorithm itself is self-healing because under certain conditions, it disables an attacker from accessing the clear text of the messages. The cryptographic objectives are message authentication, where we are corroborating the source of information, also known as data origin authentication, between the user and the staffs of the food delivery. Witnessing, where we are verifying the creation or existence of information by an entity other than the creator, for example, the rider of the food delivery, confirming the order. As a conclusion, I had learned that encryption has many methods and techniques. The methods and techniques varies depending on the secureness, but they are to encrypt or decrypt the data. Encryption is very important to conceal the data and information nowadays, since the hackers and data theft is one of the main problems of the internet. Lastly, it is very important for all types of business that will be keeping customers' data to have a suitable encryption method. And I highly recommend the encryption method that I had been suggesting, so that the company will run smoothly and the data can be encrypted accordingly. Thank you.